A new thing today. I've got my live stream all connected. Okay, we're live, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen, and I've got my Fred Flintstone little warm snuggly on today. It's a little bit chilly in the Northwest. I didn't even know it was full moon this week because it was cloudy, but I've been really enjoying myself, enjoying my friend from as in Venezuela. So she's really awesome, and she comes over about every 2 weeks, and we get to study alchemy from her grandmama. And she brings me papaya seeds. Everybody, something prisoners in jail can't get. Either a girlfriend from Venezuela or papaya seeds to help them with their, with their everything. But we've got Kim Gottlieb Walker on today, and or is it Walker Gottlieb?
Godly Walker.
And we're just blessed to have a little small group of humans that are helping to end prohibition in our lifetime. We've talked for the last several weeks or months about Schedule 3, and is that good? Is it bogus? Are we inching towards anything better? Well, you see down in the corner of my slide here, everybody. Let's see if I can move things around here. I'll get my so this lady here, right on my face, that's Alice Johnson. She was in prison, and Trumpy let her out like in his first term. And let's see if I can get this up here. So it's Alice Murray Johnson, and she was convicted in 1996 for her involvement in a Memphis cocaine trafficking organization. Well, guess what? Dr. Donald, hang on. We've got some incoming here. Let's see if I can go to my Zoom chat here. And so beware, I Dream a Genie is coming on. Okay, so there comes I Dream a Genie. Okay, anyways, the coolest thing is that I've got to get back to my screen here so I can play. The coolest thing is that Alice Johnson is now inside the White House being the pardon czar. I mean, from jail to pardon czar, it's kind of like those movies we saw when we were growing up, where the guy was in jail for being a really smart person to turn off all the power and the computers and hijack the big ruby at the in the museum and get through the lasers, and you've seen it all in the Mission Impossible movies and all that stuff. And then he goes to jail, and then the government grabs a hold of him and gets him to do good shit so we can go into other countries and whatever. So we stay neutral on Weed Wednesday, but thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Jeannie, for showing up, and Kim. And so today we're going to start off. We're going to start off with two things. One, we say goodbye to Bob Weir. Bob Weir here, one of the greatest hippies on earth. He never really, looked rainbow, like Ken Kesey and his incredible people. But he was around during that time. He was an elder. He was, I think, 78 or something, but 47. How old was he, Kim?
78.
Yeah, so he was 78. Yeah, Kim knows, and so it's really important to get the knowledge of what we know and who we talk about today. So today we're talking about it, and we're saying hi to Lawrence. Lawrence, hello. Welcome, the Hash King. And we've got Kim Gottlieb Walker. She's got the same birthday of Bob Marley. Bob Marley's birthday is this week, and so is Kim. So welcome, Kim. Is this the big birthday? Are you changing decades this week?
No, I turned 79 on February 6th, which is
Hey,
My birthday.
Happy birthday, Kim.
Happy birthday to you.
And it's the same.
Happy birthday.
And it's the same day as Bob Marley. He was just 2 years older than me, but the same day.
Wow.
And it's really cute. When I had my gallery show of my my reggae photos at the Jamaican Embassy in New York, the lady who was the consul general for Jamaica was this very conservative, very stern lady. And she only let me display the photos if I removed any trace of herb from any of the pictures. No one could be holding a spliff, or there couldn't be any smoke. And at one point I mentioned that Bob Marley and I and Ronald Reagan all shared the same birthday. And her reaction was, "Oh, I just loved Ronald Reagan."
Of course.
So
Just say no to bozos.
That's right.
I didn't go too far, everybody. I just went to get some beverage because I'm parched, and I fainted for the second time this year. So I was in the bathtub and I got too warm. So everybody, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. And but I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay.
Okay.
you're sure.
So there you go. I went to the hospital and they checked my heart arrhythmia and everything. And so it wasn't after, well, it was after smoking a little pot, and that does change your heart rate. But I got overheated in the salt bath. I have salt with CBD and good THC stuff in the salt minerals. And so I love getting magnesium in my body. I know that's really good for us, but anyways, so I'm taking care, and I'm here to tell the story. So
Thank goodness.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
so I'm gonna see if I can share something with you here. I'm gonna share my screen here, and because I'm trying a new platform today of sharing, and we'll see if it gets shared to YouTube. So I'm sharing my screen, and you see me. And now I'm going to, I'm good. Okay, so now let's do this one for Bob, okay? Bob, and everyone, you can sing along. I wish I had the words to this, but oh pirates. Yes, they provide. Hold on to the merchant ships. Yeah, triumphantly. To the Almighty. Won't you sing redemption song? The songs of freedom, redemption song. Have any mental slavery? Be kind to all your friends and your enemies. I'm changing the words. All the prophets come and go. Redemption song. This is for Bob Marley and for Kim's birthday, and I guess Ronnie. Redemption song is all I know. Redemption song. Redemption song. Oh, yeah, redemption song. Close your eyes, everybody, and see some people that are missing from the planet that you once knew, and the prisoners in jail that are coming home. Because we're going to help them. Okay, so while we're here, before we talk to our guest, everybody, let's go straight in. Can you everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go right here to our intro. And today we lost Big E. E Love is one of our favorite people. And here we go.
Free the prisoners, free the planet, free yourself.
We lost yet another incredible hero, E, and Joe Chronick's closest buddy boy. So he's in Las Vegas with a memorial happening, and I'm going to go see Joe in Seattle on Friday or Saturday before the Super Bowl, and we're connecting and linking up to give a incredible rest in peace to E. And we love you, E, and thanks for all the incredible times and your dedication. We're here for you. Help us from the other side. Go hang out with Jack and the boys, and OGs forever. Okay, love and light. And E, we love you. We love you. We love you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There's E. E stands for everything. We'll get this job done. Free the prisoners, free the plant. Now E is free. Love you, E.
Plant 13, Vegas, you know what time it is.
Let me see that magazine. Like, let me see that.
Who on the cover, man? Who on the cover? It's Iron Mike. Basketball time. No doubts about it.
Yeah, it is.
Iron Mike.
December 5th, y'all.
Rest in peace, E. Rest in peace.
Cannabis
E.
is the greatest plant on this earth, and it should be used properly. And don't believe all that negative propaganda that has been forced upon us over the last 100 years or so.
Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. Let's make it happy. I know there's a lot going on these days, but, you know, it's what we got to do. We got to watch the weed cartoons and get happy about it. I'm going to be opening up my new weed gallery. So my mission is to get everybody on the planet to give me a peace sign, and then I'll have a peace sign, art show, book, and share it with the world. It's the only way to end war. Hey, we welcome home Angela Reynolds. Yay! Let's give her a whistle. And we're so blessed and proud that Amy Pova and Alice Johnson, the current pardon czar in the White House, who was also incarcerated for drugs for life, and President Donald gave her clemency. So thank you, team. Let's go. We have over 100 commutees and or prisoners that have been freed through the likes of the Can Do Clemency, Freedom Grow, and Last Prisoner Project, and 40 Tons. So stay tuned, pray tuned, and welcome home, Angela. Hem Pam Parade.
It's been hard to stay silent with all that's going on. In my mind, I get it. I hear what's being said from all corners of our earth. I get it when you're controlled by what you're thinking. In our heads, we hear, if you fight me, I'll fight you harder. If you curse me, I'll curse you and yours even stronger. That is how our mind thinks, speaking without listening to the spirit. It is a mind that is not connected to the soul. The spirit knows that fighting harder, cursing stronger, hating longer will never end. It just gets easier to use a knife, a gun, a drone, or a bomb. All in the name of blood spilled on the ground to leave more lives buried in the ground, never reaching higher ground. To any of the leaders that feel that this is the only way, I ask you to be brave enough to say in your way is the, am I the only one that sees this? I stand up with peace. I stand up with love. That's who I am. That is what God made me of. I stand down on war, and I stand down on hate. We cannot let revenge be our unimaginable fate.
Recording in progress.
So tell me what you gonna do.
R.I.P. Bobby. Thank you for all the good shows. How many shows have you been to of the dead, everybody? But now he's really part of the dead. But I don't like that word. I
So
say,
everybody, it's time. It's freaking time. Let's end this and give thanks for all the OGs, Willie at the Super Bowl, and Tom Lehrman at Harvest Cup, and Bobby MAGA.
And change that. Sign the petition, raise your voice, and Edwin Rubis has spent decades behind bars for a non-violent marijuana conviction. While the world moves forward, he's still locked up for a plant. Together, we can change that. Sign the petition, raise your voice, and prove it.
I'm Edwin Rubis. I'm serving a 40-year sentence for a non-violent cannabis charge.
Join thousands demanding his freedom. Sign the petition, share his story.
No one should be in prison for it.
I'm a breathe that. Every night I hold on to these bars and wonder if they remember the man I was before them. I made mistakes, but the sky don't belong to mistakes. One day, I'm a breathe that.
I'm working for you, man. I love you. And so at the count of three, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, my name is Edwin Rubis, and I wanted to say hello to everybody. I am still in prison. I'm still serving 40 years for a non-violent marijuana crime. I have been in prison for 28 years, and I need your assistance and I need your help.
Okay, love you, man. Let's get me there. I love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Edwin Rubis.
Bye.
love you, Edwin.
Parade. This is Tommy Chong for Lifers Madness.
To end this war on people.
I talked to Edwin yesterday, everybody. I'm doing some new videos for him with his new campaign. I'm going to fly out there soon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Is this thing on? Dab, dab, dab.
I spoke to Lawrence also. He's in America now. You can still go to his GoFundMe and help them.
And let's not forget Jack Harrer, the father of the movement. Oh, my Papa in Baja, I miss you.
My papa's in heaven, but he had some good weed, everybody.
Check this out.
Hello, everyone. I am the real Rick Simpson, and I want to make it clear to everyone that I am still alive and kicking. Cannabis is the greatest plant on this earth, and it should be used properly. And don't believe all that negative propaganda that has been forced upon us over the last 100 years or so. It's all based on a pack of lies. Cannabis never harmed anyone. As a matter of fact, it gives mankind a future. You want the real information, or you want to find the real site, that's where to go to get the information to find it.
PhoenixTears.ca. Has anybody ever seen Rick Simpson? There he was.
Parade.
I hate those. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, Jeff. You've been so naughty this year that I brought you something I know you'll absolutely hate. It's a whole pack of anti-legalization bumper stickers. Oh, no, I hate those. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh.
Parade.
I love it.
Free the prisoners, free the plant, free the planet, free yourself.
What the heck, everybody? We're back in action here. So, hello, everybody. We got a full house today, and on the Grammys, they were pretty good. A few people got a few licks in on the Grammys, and we need to get more licks in. We do our concert. We're going to have 3 songs. And we're going to hand them out to everybody in the audience, and they're going to have a moment to sing Don't Bogart That Joint, Redemption Song, and What's Going On, Marvin Gaye. So look out for our concert.
What about Come Together Over Weed?
What about what?
Come Together Over Weed.
Your microphone is from outer space today. We can barely understand you. Say that slower.
So is my video. Sorry for that. How about Come Together Over Weed?
Come together over weed. Come together over weed. Sure, why not? Why not? We'll do it. We'll do it. We're gonna have we're gonna have so many, weed singers. Slightly Stupid. We'll get all the Marleys, and everything, and that we'll have plenty of weed songs, and maybe we'll have a contest for, or everybody can text their favorite weed line, and then maybe we'll improv. We'll get Sherry and Billy to come and do improv, Instaplay, and we'll do a Instaplay weed song, because we need to just laugh more, everybody. Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Ha ha ha. Yes.
We need to be more recreational with our medicine.
Yeah, no. So let's go around the horn here. We got Kim Gottlieb Walker. Kim, tell us your legacy. And say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. I photographed Marley over a 2-year period in the mid-'70s. My husband was the head of publicity for Island Records in the United States. It was his job to introduce Bob to the American public. And so we spent a lot of time with him. And it ended up being my book, Bob Marley and the Golden Age of Reggae, which is all photographs over that mid-'70s period. And it includes all the great reggae performers and the producers. And it's really a picture, a good snapshot of that time.
Wonderful.
And I just recently came out with my first novel, Len's Woman in Love. And my alter ego, Maddie, does smoke a lot of herb with the hero. It's one of the romantic scenes they have together. And she also has an accidental acid trip in London. It's a very entertaining book. I highly recommend it.
I highly recommend it. And you won awards, too.
And if you read it and you enjoy it, please leave a review for it, because, the algorithms only promote your book if a lot of people respond to it. So it can just be a sentence or two about how you enjoyed it, and that's all it needs.
Hey. Well, welcome aboard, and definitely OG.
It's my birthday on Friday, along with Bob Marley.
So we give you and we put another candle on your birthday cake. You're another year old in a few days.
Yep.
That's the Sheriff John song. So thank you, Kim. An OG. OG doesn't stand for original gangster only, because, if you watch the Grammys, they had that moment in time where they said in memorandum. So a lot of OGs have left the planet, but we're still here. And OG for me is, I'm an old guy. And how about OGs for women? Old gal, and old comes with wisdom and some
old grandma.
Old granny, yeah. And sometimes
old grandma, no granny.
And sometimes it doesn't come with wisdom, because there's so many OGs that are old guys that are fucking with the planet still. So with our concert and with our goodness and with all the marijuana that brings us happiness and joy, I believe, and this is just my take, this is my testimonial, it's not blanket statement, but I believe that alcohol is a suppression, and it makes you like kind of like not so happy after you drink too much. But if you smoke too much, you just either have the munchies or you get sexy, you know. So, and turn up the Bob Marley. So weed is safer than alcohol. Okay, Jeannie, tell us your legacy.
My legacy, goodness. Well, how do you answer somebody when they ask you something like that? Right now, I would like to bring up Brad Clark right behind me. And Brad Clark is 31 years old. He had brain surgery yesterday when the greatest band in the whole entire world, Def Leppard, took the stage in Caesar's Palace. Rejoice, request, rock. Def Leppard. Brad Clark, 31 years old. He has epilepsy so rare that it's only 5% of the population. And he had to have brain surgery yesterday. And he's in recovery, but he's in Canada, where THC and CBD is considered medicine. So his brain surgeons and all of his team have been telling him openly that it's all right to keep using THC and CBD. And we're going to see, the whole world is watching. Is this the moment where CBD and THC show the world the protective nature, the reparative, the restorative, the miracle that is our plant? Is this the moment when somebody can have, because what he has is he's developed his speech atypically on his left side or right. I'm going to get it one way or the other. But where we normally do it, he didn't. And he developed it on the opposite side of it, and they had to do the surgery right through that. So him losing his ability to speak, to take care of himself, to be himself, to even have a personality afterwards was his greatest fear. And he had the most, if you ask him about it though, you'd think that he won the lottery. He's the happiest, most inspiring person you've ever spoken with. And he just beat addiction to be able to get this surgery and be strong enough to get the surgery. And thank God he lives in Canada, where they believe in cannabis as medicine. And this is that moment where the entire world is watching this case, and they're seeing whether or not he comes out of the surgery as Brad, or if he can come back as Brad.
So Jeannie, so your legacy is that you are a nurse, a 420 nurse, and that you're helping people and giving people awareness that the plant is it helps people with quality of life.
It just may heal, and Def Leppard's music as well. That it just may have healing powers. That it's that powerful, and that together, the unity of everybody out there watching and playing and loving him and caring for him, just maybe we're going to see a miracle before our very eyes. And it's going to be one of higher love. And what could be more legendary than that? Intern.
Well, cancer sucks, everybody, but we got cannabinoids that need more cannabinoids, and that's going to help to give you quality of life. It might not save your life all the way, but it's going to help you be more comfortable. Thank you, Jeannie, and you get a little, okay, redemption. Lawrence, give us your legacy and introduce yourself.
My name's Lawrence Cherniak, and my legacy is pretty much on a Renaissance level of being a visionary and historian since the 1960s, during which I began to be determined and resolved to make a difference for the better in the world. And the way you make the world a better place is by making yourself a better person. So I really enjoyed, exploring cosmic consciousness and understanding how wonderful not only my soul could be, but every other soul on the planet. So with that information, which I was able to begin to share, it brought a lot of introductions my way to, ultimately millions of people who I share information with, and have encouraged to share the information that they've gained, because that's what's going on, is a lot of people sharing information that helps to encourage other people and inspires them to be involved in, researching through photography and stories, their experiences, their very positive and wonderful experiences with this miracle plant, like we've just been talking about, and which is always discussed on the show. And so it's a pleasure to share, the encouragement that I enjoy doing with all of us and everyone else in the world, as easily as it is for me to count to 1, 2, 3. So how's that for a start?
Fantastic. Well, welcome aboard, Mr. Cherniak. Tell us about your books.
Well, my books are the Great Books of Hashish, and there's 3 books in the first trilogy, and I'm getting really close to releasing the next 3 books all at one time with 6,000 photos, and it makes it easier for those books to be released because of the current decades of the beginning of relaxation of the prohibition of cannabis, where there's no limits to the frontiers, about to be exploited in terms of how many people's lives are being saved thanks to the millions of products which already exist. And a lot of that has come out of people having my books to be able to do research all the way back to the 1960s or 70s, when I first started sharing the photos that I had taken primarily in Europe and Morocco, Lebanon, Afghanistan, and Nepal.
What's the history of hash?
The history of hash is very diversified, and there's many many sources which
was it Lebanon? Was it Afghani? I mean, who did the first one?
Goes back to further than that. All these.
Did Jesus make hash?
Jesus did make hash.
He made anointed oil.
Yeah, he was making water hash, ice water hash. Yeah, even though they didn't have any ice as a general rule back then, but he was still able to do it because he was the son of the Lord and was able to just freeze it by the snap of his fingers. Everybody knows that. I'm surprised you would ask me a question like that.
Well, but I want the lay person out in the audience there on Roku and YouTube to know the story that Jesus, Cristo, was part of, the anointing oil, the hashish master. But was it Afghanistan? Was it Morocco? What do you think? What does your book say?
You're right. It was Jesus in Israel, because it was the same oil that they used at Hanukkah to light the candles for the 8 days.
Woohoo!
Exactly. And it's what healed the lepers, and it's what allowed Moses to have the burning bush and the talk in the wilderness.
Exactly. So that's and so hashish was also known to be in the Himalayas, of course, so that when those great floods came, when Noah's Ark was around, people who were in the high Himalayas were above the height of the water, and so they were able to, live comfortably and spread the. But I'm also reputed and have a reputation of having come here from another solar system, bringing the first of the marijuana seeds. Someone wrote in a review of my books that I'm responsible, so I have to, be happy to plead guilty when I'm accused of addicting a lot of people to, marijuana and other drug photography.
Do you imbibe or are you sober? I mean, because I think I know a little secret about you.
You do? Just one?
Well, plenty, but only one at a time.
Well, that's ridiculous. You can certainly share more than one at a time, because I know how you can speak out of both sides of your mouth and be very accurate as well.
So do you smoke, or do you just know and you or tell us what your routine is?
Well, I don't have any routines because that marijuana stuff really scares the hell out of me, because I heard what happens is you become an assassin and kill everybody around you, and then kill yourself and commit harry-carry. So that's pretty, nasty.
I think Vivian would say yes on that one.
You have to say.
And I know this is all
recommend
further
it.
truth
No,
'cause I
Zach,
can see y'all smiling. I know I'm not joking, darn it.
Well, thank you, Lawrence. It's great to have you on today. Vivian, come on up and tell us your legacy.
I'm Vivian. I'm a crazy mofo who spent 30 years at the tip of the spear at the front lines of the cannabis reform movement. I've largely redirected my recent efforts as a foot soldier, a nonviolent foot soldier in the American resistance, because legal weed is not enjoyable in a fascist authoritarian dictatorship that's dominated by white nationalism. Yes, I do believe that marijuana makes you an assassin to like a bag of potato chips or a bowl of ice cream, and you become extremely, extremely dangerous.
Exactly.
And I want to remember that I think that Lawrence really nailed it. That Jesus made hash out of water, turned water into hash, and let's not forget that old saying: "Let he who's not stoned cast the first sin."
And the first joint.
Like the first joint, yes. I don't know. It's all in the translation, right? It's
exactly. And that's been going on
Say
since
something about not guarding that joint there.
I love bringing this story up to God state. The source is the Canna gods, and it's just so amazing that Lawrence came down in a spaceship with the first seed.
Yeah. Also, I'm projecting the fact that there's a real issue about they're not making yardsticks any longer.
Ha ha, hardy har har har.
Okay, well.
You're breaking up, Jeannie.
You're breaking up, Jeannie. Yeah, breaking up is hard to do.
Sativa or was it indica? What was the best seed? Was it sativa or indica?
I was told the strains are like one now. Like there's no difference between sativa or indica. They're all like crossed into each other.
Oh, there's
difference. It's just like Chinese people and Eskimos.
No, I mean,
there's definitely a difference because I use it.
And that's part of the greatest part of the fun of the exploration of savoring the differences, just like different cultures.
Jeff, you should consider having Michael Crowitz on your show. He's a veteran. He's been working with the United Nations on cannabis policy. He's pretty amazing. He's also working right now to help archive, revive, and restore indigenous strains, original indigenous strains, like Michoacan and Kona Gold and Taiba.
And do we have the original seeds somewhere?
People do.
I do. I have a bunch of them.
Yes, people do.
And what's the life of a seed?
Oh, they can last for a long, long time if they're well preserved, especially in diatomaceous earth, for example. You know diatomaceous earth, right?
We used to put it in our pool.
Right.
I drink it.
Yeah,
I drink it every
absolutely.
Every day.
Yeah, that and molybdenum, also a good little shot. These are all natural elements or essential elements that are part of our body anyway.
But not only are our seeds preserved, but also if you go to those locations, right? There are people that have been producing weed continuously.
So if we go to Colombia, they'll have some gold original seeds, or have they been overbred, or what's the deal?
Well, I think all the above. I think there's small pockets of people that have been locally producing weed, and there might have been a revolution or gangs or various things, changes in government that have suppressed a lot of the cultivation in places like Thailand and Colombia and places like that. But there are pockets, apparently, of untainted strains. Not a lot, But anyway, Michael Krawitz is spearheading an effort to recover these original indigenous.
Let's do a legacy show with him. Yeah, let's bring him on for sure. That'd be wonderful. So tell us a little. So when I was a kid, I went to Knott's Berry Farm. Who raise your hand if you know Knott's Berry Farm? Okay, so Knott's Berry Farm. My dad took me to Knott's Berry Farm, and there was a guy, and I don't have my photo. Let's see if I have the photo here. No, I don't have a photo. But there was a guy with feathers down to the ground. Let's see if I can get myself on the front page here. Front page. Here we go. There was a guy that had feathers down to the ground, and he had a big pipe, and he was totally at Knott's Berry Farm, and all the kids got to get photos with him on his lap like Santa. But he was Native American chief, and he was at freaking Knott's Berry Farm, because Knott's Berry Farm was basically the cowboy crap, but Carnation Instant Evaporated Park, you walk around and get some ice cream. But every time we went to Knott's Berry Farm, we would go to this Native American dude. That was my first. I was 8, 7, 6, 9, and I totally love this guy. And I said, I want to be like him when I grow up, and I resonated with the Native American population, and I began my journey into one world, one love, one color. And so he told me, eat local and eat seasonal, so for best health. And so my whole life, when I lived in Oregon, when I lived in Holland, when I lived in Mexico with my dad, I would always go for the seasonal and the local crops. So what I'm hearing Vivian's share with us about seeds is that no matter if there's the original seed, it's still from that land, and it has the vibration and the energy of Colombia. Or if you get some Maui Wowie, you get some seeds from Maui, it's closer to the original Maui Wowie than not. Am I right, Vivian?
I think that's a reasonably correct assumption. I'm just sorry, I'm letting somebody know, or my boss know that our email is down. I think that's a reasonable assumption. What can be recovered, right? There's the Great Seed Bank in Europe, right? Where they're collecting seeds from all over the world. This giant, I think it's like this giant tunnel, if I remember
where
correctly.
they're preserved. Yeah, the seed bank. Yeah, they're having this cosmic seed bank that they're.
And at the rate things are going, man, it's a good thing they're doing that, because we're in trouble. We're in big trouble.
Because it's underground, and if we get nuclear, holocaust, then the seeds will be here for the next aliens that come down to inhabit the earth with oxygen.
May I also add that, we should remember that in Hawaii, there was never any marijuana until, the late 60s being grown there, because the first seeds that were brought there was by Timothy Leary when he came back from Afghanistan. Before that, there was no such thing as Pakololo, and that's how, ultimately Maui Wowie got developed, as well as, Kona Gold and, any of the other many strains that are now there. But people have been crossbreeding and, dealing with genetics, ever since the beginning of time, just like Marco Polo was bringing spices back from the East, to Italy, and, made Venice an incredible place, because I don't know if any of you have been to Venice, but it's absolutely a most charming, city in the world, because of the way the canals work there and the way you can only walk around. And, it's forever that they've never had motorized vehicles in Venice. And it's got a tremendous culture that goes back years and years and years and centuries of, people enjoying their life in Venice, because there wasn't, a lot of heavy traffic, and you could always walk around in Venice.
And it was the most cosmopolitan city in the world because of everything coming from the Far East.
Right, exactly. Yeah, really a very romantic location. I was there with my wife this past summer, and we had another absolutely great time as usual, going around in a gondola and, being able to share wonderful vibes with people. Really a wonderful place. You don't know Venice like, sort of like, New York and Seattle, then you don't know the world.
And we're
You gotta
lucky
know Seattle.
and we're lucky to still be able to see it today, because future generations may not be able to when the water levels rise.
Well, they're doing things about that, but they certainly do have issues about it. In St. Mark's Square, I was there just a few days after St. Mark's Square, and the water was coming up through the sewers because of the amount of rainfall that had been coming down. So they're certainly working and dealing with preserving it. So really a wonderful place, Venice. Everybody should go there. Got some beautiful masks this time, just gorgeous. And you can have some really good food there if you know where to go off the beaten paths. But there's so much to do in Venice. It's just absolutely wonderful.
So,
really.
so several minutes ago, we were getting Vivian to roll in may this circle be unbroken. I mean, we're like at a campfire right now. So Vivian, tell us about HempFest and your legacy with HempFest.
Yes, we're sitting around the digital campfire at the moment. Well, I spent 28 years with HempFest, 25 of those as the executive director, and I was always the MC of the main stage for the whole time. And it started off as a small little humble gathering of stoners in Volunteer Park, Seattle, and at some point it reached the largest annual cannabis reform event in the world.
Yeah.
With bringing in an excess of 100,000 people annually with a 700-person volunteer staff. At one point, we filled 1,000 staff shirts for about 4 or 5 years. And we had 6 stages at the height of that, and a giant symposium tent, a circus tent that had panel discussions taking place all day long. And I believe that we were the most socially responsible event of our kind that's ever existed. And I could talk for a long time on why I think that all the various things that we did that I've never seen another cannabis event do. For example, like it was long, thin. I'll just say one thing. It was long, thin. It was 1.3 miles long on the waterfront, downtown Seattle, on the water on
Epic.
Elliott Bay. And since it was so long and narrow and so packed full of people, and the stages, went down this long expanse, I rented extra AEDs, extra heart defibrillators, and we had heart defibrillators at our stages through the whole thing, because if somebody had a heart attack or some kind of a heart crisis, there's no guarantee that the fire department medics or our own first aid team could have made it to them in time.
What was your record? Did you ever lose anybody at HempFest?
No, we never had a serious accident, arrest, or injury at HempFest. Actually, we had a lot of, our first aid teams were busy, but the majority of it was people that ate too much weed and were convinced that they were dying because they hadn't eaten any food, and they ate a bunch of weed, and then they smoked a bunch of weed, right? But we had twisted ankles and people having seizures and various stuff, a couple ODs.
Because just like Whitebird at the OCF, Oregon Country Fair, I mean, I think they're pretty clean also, but I think they have, a couple elders that got heart attacks and died there, but nothing due to marijuana.
and we had Stop the Bleed kits at our stages, and we had toxic spill kits at our quartermaster, because we were right on the Puget Sound, or excuse me, on Elliott Bay. We did all kinds of crazy stuff. We did a raffle at every event to put money on the commissary of various lifer POWs, pot POWs like Jeff Mazenski and George
Monterano.
Yes, thank you.
They were both there.
One of the biggest thrills that we ever had was getting, helping to get them released and having them come to HempFest, which they'd been hearing about in prison, right? And that was spectacular. And so, yeah, it was a crazy journey to justice, kind of this giant 28-year blur in my brain. And we became like good friends with the Seattle Police Department, which is really weird. It was almost embarrassing how good a relationship we had with them. And they would just smile and look around while everybody, like 100,000 people, broke the law and smoked weed. It was kind of a Jedi mind trick, shamanic.
So HempFest was before it was legalized in Washington.
Oh, yeah. Both before and after, right? We played a big role in Washington State being one of the first two cannabis legal cannabis states.
Yeah.
And we always thought it would be like the government that would take us down or something, but we didn't really anticipate a pandemic. And not only did the pandemic wipe us out economically because everything was shut down 2 months before our event. We'd already taken in, $150,000 and spent it because that was our business model, right? From returning vendors who wanted to reserve their spots, right? And that's kind of how we operated. And then like about 700,000 came in the months of July and August. But also, if you're going to have an event where in a pandemic that's not good, it's one that tens of thousands of people are going to be sharing from their mouths, no matter what you say, right? No matter what we said, we were not going to stop all these young people who think they're going to live forever from sharing pipes and joints. And in a pandemic, that's a super spreader event. And so it was just all a perfect storm. And then, I won't get into it, but inflation, the post-pandemic inflation, and 25-year contracts all broken, including our insurance premium, which had to be renegotiated. And it was just like, it was literally twice as expensive if we'd wanted to come back. The truth is, I was wearing out, man. I was actually 28 years. I was wearing out. This old body, my spirit was willing, but my body was ailing, and it was kind of I miss it, and it was sad, and I hated it, but it was also a personal blessing to get that behind me.
You were a real hero, Vivian.
What's that?
A real hero.
Oh, thank you.
A real brave hero.
I appreciate. I don't really feel that, but I appreciate that very much. That's very kind of you to say that.
Of course.
And, all we were doing was defending our culture against tyranny and oppression, and actually it was an authoritarian government for pot users, for many years. So I guess the slide into total authoritarianism isn't that crazy.
Yeah.
We're feeling it right now, everybody, so do the best you can. I got the little campfire up from Peru. We're doing a plant medicine movie. Now, I just talked to Peru today, and they're having me back in a couple of months, and I'm going to carry on with my journey to tell the story that marijuana is not the only plant that gives medicine, but there's other things, iboga, peyote, and ayahuasca, and there's so many beautiful. The herbs in your garden are medicine, and they're plants. So again, without being a broken record, nobody deserves to be in jail for a plant, period, ! End of story. And it's really important for us to thank people like Lawrence for navigating the Book of Hashish, for Bob Marley giving a cover story to beautiful Kim, and for 30 years of HempFest, and I've been plenty of times to HempFest and the Oregon Country Fair, seeing people use the plant, and people are in jail for that. And so this is our show mostly about, the inconsistency of the judges that go home at night and have dinner, and they crack open a TV dinner or have their mashed potatoes and gravy, and they go, "Hey, I put somebody in jail for life today."
And we're watching the politicization of the judiciary on a level that I'm not sure we've seen since, I don't know if we've ever seen.
I don't know how a convicted felon can be allowed to appoint judges.
Right.
It's absolutely baffling to me.
It's insane, isn't it? But
absolutely.
It's one of 10,000 completely insane things that are going on. And I don't think Jeff wants to devolve too much into the details.
We can go a little deeper, but daily, we're having to fight this, everybody. Let's do the concert. Let's get the concert in every state and go to every country, and through music. Well, I just watched the Grammys. People were holding their tongue, but a couple snuck out. We have to get up and teach the children well. Wooden ships on the water, everybody.
And we have to be guardians of this precious earth and all of the beautiful plants and animals that we're graced with that are disappearing every day. And protect them from destruction by people who are solely interested in their personal profit and power.
I know, drill baby drill. What the fuck?
Well, it's fascinating that in the last presidential election, both parties decided that climate change was not worth mentioning, right? It wasn't a factor, right? As if there is any other issue when you're looking at either the destruction of our biosphere so that it no longer is life supporting, or a hellscape, a living dystopian hellscape that maybe we survive, but it's like we're all suffering and you can't live south of the equator. And it's madness, right? And what we've watched in the last year is the complete evisceration of climate change policy, of mitigating climate change. It's madness. But imagine a president who sues his own Internal Revenue Service for $10 billion while he's the president, because that's what's happening right now, right?
Or revealing his taxes, which every previous president has done.
Yes, but he literally could order the IRS to settle the lawsuit because he's the president. It's in madness. It's a level of corruption that nobody even ever, like if you'd written this on a script in 2014 and brought it to Hollywood, they said, get out of here, man. Nobody would ever believe that. It's just like, that would never happen, right? It's madness. And it's the flood the zone with shit strategy, and it's very effective.
What we're talking about is really our truth. And if you go by the knowing is the cosmic order, and it's just about things that we know. And we know that this is happening. You can't turn away. If I hold up something that's black, or I hold up something that's white, but it won't show on my green screen, it's either black or it's either white.
But we're being told that white is black, right? That's what we're being told. We're being told the sky's never been blue. What are you talking about? That's the level of disinformation, of Orwellian reverse truth doublespeak that we're being subjected to right now in the United States of America, right? And it's touch and go. I'm still optimistic. I still think that we're gonna survive, that democracy will survive this.
We will, Vivian, of course.
But it's gonna get much darker.
And not have ourselves being channeled, if you don't mind my interrupting, into black and white, because there's a whole rainbow of colors that gives us all the diversity that we can draw in to exchange impressions of life on so many different levels, and not be channeled into black or white, yes or no, when there's so many things, just like how many different music notes there are in the scales and musical scales.
We need to be the prisms, right? And we need to be the light at the end of our own tunnel, because we can't look to anybody else to illuminate this.
Yeah, and like Kim was saying, we don't need we need guides or whatever. We need to continue to be the guides. We already are. So it's not like we're looking for them. We are inspiring people. I see it going on all over around the world in my travels. Like when I was in Europe and in Africa this past summer, it was wonderful to see how many things are being shared all over the world in terms of the community, especially the cannabis community, which is flourishing all over, and people are doing the same things and exchanging products that, for extraction, for example, to make different kinds of concentrates. So it is happening, and people are proud of it. It's just that we need to deal with having a clearer understanding of people needing to, at this point, resort to voting so that we can have a change and move forward as we should be doing and could be doing.
We are the parents your children warned you about, but we outnumber the greedy death
Yeah,
cult
that's
people.
it.
We outnumber them vastly, right?
That's right. We do.
There's more love than there is hate, for sure.
It is. And
Which
they're
is one of the
overreaching.
reasons the No Kings demonstrations have been so inspiring, because you get out there to lend your body to the movement, and you see how many good people are out there with you. Stand up
That's
for
why, and that's
democracy
why these protests are so. I've seen many people say these protests do nothing. Yeah, they don't accomplish anything, and I completely disagree.
Yeah.
So many people know, my God, I'm not alone. I'm not the only
It's
one.
so inspiring.
There's hope.
Yeah.
You know,
Encouraging.
every person at that protest represents 1,000 other people, or more, maybe 100,000 other people who couldn't be there, you know, for whatever reason.
All right, everybody. This is I'm going to take a responsible act here. Listen up here. Listen up here. I'm going to do something that may get me in trouble, but it's important that we see this right now. I'm going to share my screen with you all here so we can play this here, and just a few seconds of it so I don't get in too much trouble. See if I can get this going. Okay, that's it. So I hope I don't get bopped off of my media, but that was Joan Baez, everybody.
Yep. And Jesse Wells have done a number of songs.
OG, she's an OG, baby.
And how about the new Bruce Springsteen song as well?
Right.
Finally,
Oh yeah,
I'm the anthems of resistance. I was wondering when it was going to happen.
Oh yeah, but for since 3 years ago when I started to want to do the concert, and I'm trying to raise $3 million, and we're close, but the idea was, as I told you 3 years ago, Vivian, I said, where is the protest music? And that's what we need. We need a Woodstock right now. We need a Woodstock to look into to make it historic. Hempfest was historical. Hempfest was historical. I can't wait to work on a film for you about Hempfest, but one project at a time, one book at a time, Lenswoman, you know, and
not together.
Oh yeah, 3 books at a time for Lawrence, you know, but yeah, can you imagine that we got Joan Baez again, you know, OG, she's an old grandma. You know?
Who makes a brief appearance in my book. I mean, my book is a chance to go back to the 1960s and 70s and relive that experience. I never thought we'd have to fight the same battles again.
And Jane Fonda has been on the front lines as well.
Right.
Making a comeback, you know, at like 80-something, 88, I think she is. And she's kicking ass.
What was her handle? Hanoi
Jane.
Hanoi Jane. So everybody, we're at episode 298, and we're at the top of the hour. Hanoi Jane was in Standing Rock when I was there. I went to Standing Rock, everybody. Fucking A. So are you out of here?
Have to go, yeah.
Okay, so we got Kim. Thank you so much. Happy birthday on Bob Marley's birthday day, and
Happy birthday again.
And thank you everybody for coming on today. So Kim, thank you, and no kings.
No.
Always good to see you, Vivian.
Is that?
Always good to see you. Thank you, Kim.
Thanks for
Kim's
visiting
not kings.
Past weekend, Jeff.
See you soon, Kim. And Sherry says hi. Yeah, tell Sherry about your friends in Australia.
Yeah, I will.
You got her text? Yeah. So yeah, boys, it's just a boys club now, and it's up to us to be, like Kim said, the elders that that help us through this time.
Okay, aloha. Yes.
Mahalo.
We need everybody.
Mahalo. Mahalos.
Just the deuce is just the two of us.
Wait. It's three. But you know, now instead of 3, 2, 1, we're gonna say 3 still, because that's the weed. That's a W for weed. But Schedule 3, what's the good and bad of Schedule 3 right now?
Well, you know, that's a deep subject. As you know, Donald Trump has signed an executive order directing Attorney General Pam Bondi to complete the process of moving from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3.
It hasn't happened yet.
No, and I'm not convinced that it will, but frankly, because it's this administration. And
fucking A.
It would do some good things. It would allow, it would allow much greater access to cannabis for research purposes, for scientific research.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful. I mean, the inches that we're getting with it, but we just have to end prohibition all at one swoop.
But the thing about it is that instead of Schedule 1, cannabis needs to be Schedule none, right? And I think Schedule 3 slows that down, frankly. But I don't know. But I worry that it's going to be, because it's this administration, nothing they do doesn't have an angle for corporate grift. And I think that I worry that it's going to enable the pharmaceutical industry to kind of, come in and carpet bag the whole thing. But I don't know, there's smarter people than.
Well, I talked to some smart people the other day, and they go, yeah, marijuana's killing our children. Still they think that. Still. And the Canna moms came from Florida to Colorado, and their kids have no cancer in their brain tumors.
The thing that's interesting about that is okay, show me one. Show me one of these children that's killing, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't offer that information, right? Yeah, we know it's always been a campaign built on lies, and lies are dime a dozen right now. I mean, we're being bombarded by so many lies that you can't even, remember them all.
It's really an unusual time, everybody. On episode 298, we're going to have episode 300 pretty soon, you guys, and we're excited. And I'm still going to Machu again, and I love Tom Petty, the refugee song. We just have to embrace everybody and get back to what my teacher in Hebrew school said. Everybody, he said, we have to learn from the World War II crap that we went through, where they were trying to exterminate certain populaces, and it's just unbelievable that we still think that way. And let's keep a focus on our small little things that we can do: cleaning our garden, making food that'll help us beautiful, taking green coffee up the so we can be happy and comfortable in life, and just replenish yourself and eat lots of papaya seeds. Everybody, use your echinacea for vitamin C, use your tea tree oil, anything that you need and that about, oil of oregano. Use your stuff so you can be powerful enough to make it to our concert, to be part of what we're going to do. This is Jeff Eichen with Weeds Day with Vivian McPeak here from the Hemp Fest. Tell us about your book, Vivian.
Well, my book, Protestival, is a 20-year retrospective of Seattle Hemp Fest with, it's got 160 photographs in it and 20 chapters, and each chapter tells the story of that year. It's basically the first 20 years of Hemp Fest, and it's this.
And is it still available?
For me.
From Vivian. So you can find Vivian through me, or what? How can they find you?
I'm on social media. You can look me up on Facebook, probably be the easiest way, at Face Crack.
Okay, Vivian McPeak, and yeah.
We're just talking about this chop wood, carry water thing, right? We need to still take care of business and take care of our bodies. And I recently wrote a Substack piece called called radical resistance joy, radical self-care. And we need to be able to do the long haul. And there's this hypervigilance, watching the news, everything's happening, don't want to miss it. We have to take time out to soothe ourselves and take walks and listen to music and be with people that we love. And
forest time.
So that we can come back re-energized, right? Because we've got to make the long haul here. This is a struggle, this is the struggle. And so we need to remember that we need to, like a plant, we need sun and water and good soil. We can't just, keep going without a break.
They're having a movie come out called Steal This Movie.
Yeah, I saw that.
So Abby Hoffman forever, come on, steal this book, and everybody keep the faith. Vivian has spoken those words today, that he has faith that, I was going to tell a story about my Hebrew school teacher. He said, don't buy into hate. Don't ever use that word hate in a derogatory statement, because there were in World War II teachers and stupid people that were killing and trying to exterminate, the Jews, the French, the Chinese, or the Japanese, and all that internment camp shit. It's got to end, everybody. And in the meantime, we're going to help to end prohibition. Schedule 3, let's end prohibition and make it Schedule 0.
Yep. Schedule none.
Schedule none, and we're going to have fun. So, like I said, for 2025, no jive. In 26, we're going to put in the fix. Love you, man. Love my team. Love my show. Love your show. Have me on your show again. And let's get the Seed Man on my show. And it's great to see you, man.
All right. Much love to you, bro.
Hem pem hooray, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen. I'm out of here. And you know what? Weed stay.
Weed stay.
So everybody, I'm still here. It is still me, and let's see if I can put get up to the stage. There I am. So let's see if I can. It's not showing me. So how do we get to show me? Boom. Let's see, slide, video, image, video, extra camera. I'm trying to get back in the zone here, everybody. This is the first time I've been doing this, so it's there we are. So I found the right, one of these days, I'm gonna have a budget and have somebody in the back office clicking all the buttons so I can be more Hollywood. But after 298 shows, it was a great show today. It's time to have more great shows, and important and responsible, and part of the outcome, part of the income. So love you so much, everybody, and peace to you and your general public. And I think let's see here. I think we got it. Okay. Peace out, everybody. Jeff Eichen, episode 298.